Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Thanks for joining me once again on this Thursday, April the 12th, 2012. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the basic fundamental rights of travel from point A to point B and how that has been drastically changing over the last few years. As many of you, I'm sure, are already well aware, the TSA, the Transportation Security Agency, has in the last few years been given more powers to search you at the airport before allowing you to board an airplane. They are now basically have the ability to be able to pat you down, grope you, basically sticking their hands down your pants. And if you happen to be selected, you may be requested to walk through the body scanning X-ray machine, which takes a photo of the naked image of your body, which they will then analyze before allowing you onto an airplane. And this is all, of course, in this post 9/11 world where many of these agencies are basically paranoid about terrorism, and they are introducing these new draconian measures to search people at the airport. And I remember just last year when I was traveling to North Korea for the International Film Festival there. I was invited there to show my film Into the Fire. And I remember as I was going into the airport, I was kind of half expecting that there's a good chance I may be selected for this advanced screening. And I knew full well going in there that if I was, I absolutely would refuse to walk through those machines. Not only because they haven't been proven to be safe, we don't even know if they're safe yet, but also it's a major violation of our privacy rights. I don't like the idea of being treated like a criminal, treated like a terrorist, considered guilty first, at which point you have to prove your innocence. And I certainly would have refused to do so, but luckily I didn't have to go through that. I didn't have them sticking their hands down my pants. I didn't have to walk through the X-ray machine, and I was able to board the plane without any problems. But so many people are having problems these days at the border, and it's just getting completely ridiculous. And the interesting thing about the body scanners, which cost over $1 billion of taxpayers' money for them to begin implementing this new system. Well, a video has surfaced in the last few months of a man who claimed that he could completely defeat the machines and walk right on in with guns, explosives, heavy metals, whatever he wanted. He knew how to trick the body scanners. And this video in the last few months has gone viral. It's received nearly 2 million views because this man shows how the entire system is flawed and it is not doing what they say it was designed to do. And so I'll put a link in the description to that video so you can check it out for yourself, and it will show you that these machines are already obsolete and they don't even do what they say they're supposed to do. Meanwhile, we have American and Canadian citizens who are being forced to do these things at the border. And speaking of which, there is a new case with a student at McGill University in Montreal who is taking on this case because they not only have the ability to take pictures of your naked body and search all of your things, but as of the last few years, they now have the ability to search electronic devices and check out everything that's on your laptop or your smartphone or any other electronic device before boarding a plane. And so here's an article that just recently came out from the Toronto Sun. Student challenges U.S. border search of electronic devices. A McGill University student says his PhD thesis in Islamic studies and his travels to the Middle East got him in trouble with U.S. border security. Pascal Abidor said when he tried to enter the U.S. to see his parents in May of 2010, he was handcuffed and detained while border guards searched his laptop. Now he and the American Civil Liberties Union are awaiting a decision by a U.S. judge on the constitutionality of the current policy of search and seizure of electronic devices at the U.S. international borders. Arguments were held last July, and a judge is expected to make a decision soon. Abidor is a U.S. citizen, and while the expected ruling's consequences on non-U.S. citizens are unclear, this is an issue that concerns Canadians. According to U.S. government documents obtained by the ACLU through a Freedom of Information request, 6,671 travelers had their electronic devices searched at U.S. international borders between October 1st, 2008 and June 2nd, 2010. 22% of all searches were conducted on Canadians, equaling 1,477 people. Abidor was traveling on an Amtrak train from Montreal to New York on May 1st, 2010 to visit his parents after the end of the winter semester at McGill. A customs official asked him if he had traveled anywhere else in the past year, and he said he told the agents that he had been to Lebanon and Jordan. As soon as I had told him that I'd been to the Middle East, that's when they continued with their inspection. He said he was brought to another section of the train and told to enter the password to his computer. They went straight to my pictures, he said. Custom agents found pictures of rallies of Hamas and Hezbollah, two groups that the U.S. Department of State lists as foreign terrorist organizations. Abidor said he told the agent that the pictures were for his thesis in Islamic studies. He said the agents didn't believe him. Abidor said that he was then handcuffed, frisked violently, and driven to the border station where he was held for 3 hours. I was freaking out. I thought I was going to throw up. He said he doesn't even have a criminal record. He has never had a problem entering Canada. And the U.S. agents eventually allowed him to enter the U.S., but they kept his laptop, and it was returned to him 10 days later. And this reminds me of back during the G20 summit here when we were providing our coverage of that event. I had it all set up for Luke Radowski of We Are Change to come here to Toronto to document the G20 event with me. He was going to be staying here at my place for a week. We were going to, team up and document this entire event together. And I remember in the couple days leading up to that weekend, the day he was supposed to arrive, I got a phone call from Luke when he was stuck at the border, and he says, Dan, they're not letting me in. They've just stopped me here. They've searched my car. They searched everything, searched the laptop, asked us, why we're coming to Canada. He said he was coming to visit me. Dan Dick's going to stay with me in Toronto for a week. And they basically just refused to allow him to enter the country. And interestingly enough, a similar thing happened to David Icke a while ago. He wanted to travel here to Canada to do his speaking tour, and the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, claimed that he was spreading anti-Semitism, and so they're not allowing him to enter the country either. So the big picture here is they're clearly not really interested in stopping terrorism or terrorists at the border. I mean, the machines that scan your bodies don't even do the job that they were supposed to do. It's easy to beat the machines. So it's clear that it's more about keeping people in line. And, the basic fundamental right to travel from point A to point B is just that. It's a basic fundamental right, and we should have that ability to do so without being violated. So this case with the student in Montreal at McGill University could potentially set a precedent here in Canada. So I'm certainly going to keep an eye on this one and see how this plays out. And should be interesting to see what happens with his case. So if I get any new information or any further developments on how that's going, I'll be sure to keep you posted on that. But anyways, it's just something I thought I wanted to talk about today because I just recently saw this article, and again, this could set the necessary precedent needed to make sure that we can have the ability, the freedom to travel from point A to point B without being violated by the government in this big brother nightmare that is unfolding before our very eyes. It's almost like they're kind of training us to be obedient little slaves in this new system. And many people are beginning to stand up and say, enough is enough. We have to stop this. And they're taking their cases to the courts. So we're going to continue to follow this one and see how it plays out, because as I said, it is of the extreme importance, to make sure that we take care of these situations as they arise. Again, a lot of the ways that the elite gain their control is through incrementalism. So when we recognize these small steps as they are happening, that's when we have to take it on and try to defeat it. So I'll be keeping a close eye on this case, and I'll keep you guys posted about that. And anyways, that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow, I have a very special guest scheduled to come on the show. I don't want to say anything just yet, just in case there's a chance it doesn't happen, but I'm 99% sure that I will be interviewing somebody very special for tomorrow's show, so you're not going to want to miss that one. And anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in once again, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Take care.